Okay. Hi, everybody. Josue, hi.
Hello, Pedro. I would like to first introduce ourselves to this part of the conference. And my name is Josue Laime. I graduated from Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos a few months ago. Uh, and I'm interested in orthopedic surgery research, also general surgery research. What about you, Pedro?
Hi, everybody. My name is Pedro Guerra Canchari. I'm a medical doctor, also graduated from the National University of San Marcos here in Lima, Peru. We are prom, so we just graduated 3 or 4 months ago. And in Peru is 7 years, so maybe we are going to talk when we were in 5 year or something like that. Please take care because in Peru you have to study 7 years in order to get your medical degree. So also I have been doing some medical rotations, one with EMO in internal medicine. So we are going to be glad to share our experience about rotating together in a clinical rotation with EMO.
Yes. Also, I think we have prepared some slides, and I hope we can share them with all of you. And yeah, why not? Let's begin with one of the benefits we found during the rotation together, and one of them was surely making all the adaptation process in a different place than we were used to in our country, and and of course having a friend will help you definitely to get more used to the language, also the environment and the different, I would say, um, different characteristics or traits of uh, people around you. What do you think, Pedro?
I think that's interesting point. Also, you need to complement your abilities, your skills from each other. For example, just mention in our case, Josue knows how to drive in that moment, and I didn't. So we need a car when we made a rotation. So he used to drive the car, and I was like sitting there helping Josue, but I wasn't driving.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it helped us a lot during the clinical rotation itself. We share the clinical knowledge that we have, or discussed many cases that we saw during our daily practice, and also from literature. And I'm sure that rotating with a friend that you already know or have met him or met her before your rotation will help you to like refresh all those concepts, all those ideas that you are learning from your preceptor or from your rotation itself.
That's good. Also, Josue, we could talk about how does we meet, what was our relation when we were in med school, how we decide to make this clinical rotation. First, how do you know each other? So, first of all, we were like prom. We started medical school in 2015. In 5 year, when it was 2019, December, like July, from July to December, we decided to make a clinical rotation. We were looking for options in our medical school. We didn't get any opportunity because it was most for people who were interns in that time. So that's why we decided to look for more opportunities. We started to search in internet what could be the best option in that moment, and we found AMO. So AMO gave us the opportunity to have a lot of diversity of programs from for each state in US, and also has the opportunity from different prices. So this variety, I think, gave us the opportunity to have more options and to decide what could be the best for us. And after that moment, I talked with Josue and I told him, Josue, are you looking also for a clinical rotation? Have you ever searched about AMO? And he told me that he were looking, but he was undecided. So we started to look together, and we were looking for a place that could be better for both of us. So that's why one of the things that helped. And Josue, a question that could be important. Uh, why did we decide to rotate together?
Yeah, like you mentioned, you share with me all that you have found out on the internet, on the web, and on AIMA website, and we like it sounded like a really good opportunity. And also, I look up for myself on the website, and I saw that they offered a lot of many like um, they have a lot of diversity in rotations. And we were at that moment we were looking for an internal medicine um rotation, and yeah, in one of them match our interests, and we decided to book that rotation like 3 or 4 months before the date of start.
Okay. Also, I could comment about how that we decide our clinical rotation. As we mentioned, we were looking for a place that could be important for both of us. At that moment, also Josue and me were interested in internal medicine, so we were looking for the places for internal medicine. Next place or next important thing that we try to discuss and decide is where are we going to live if we make a clinical rotation there. So in that moment, I decide to contact one of my friends that I met a few months ago in a meeting. So he told me in that moment, when you come to Chicago, maybe you can come to my home and you will have some place to stay here. So I tried to connect with him. Dr. Flores accepted in that moment to help me, and also I took and I say I have a friend who is Josue that is looking also for the opportunity to make a clinical rotation here, and he told me yes, you have this. He could be like with you here in my home, so that's the place that we decide we are going to make a internal medical rotation in Illinois. And then we were looking for the best place, and we found in that moment our rotation that was in one in Bridgeville. So it was important, I think, because both of us were looking from all the variety of programs that we have. So he was like looking 10 programs, and also I was looking for 10 programs. And then we discuss and say, oh, this is better, this have more hours, this have few hours. We're going to spend more time here. It's near from the home, it's not near. So if you have a friend that are going to travel with you, it's going to be important because two minds are going to discuss better than only your mind. So I think it's important when you have the opportunity to share with someone else to find this best rotation for you. Also, if you don't have the same, how do you say, the same specialty, for example, if your friend is going to rotate in surgery and you're going to rotate in internal medicine, could be important because both of you are looking and also could find a place near from the state that you are. So maybe he could rotate in one hospital in your city, and also he's going to rotate in another hospital in your city, and then you can share your experience, share cases, as Josue mentioned. And Josue, what do we enjoy most from this rotation, from this travel, when we make this clinical rotation
Yeah,
to?
yes, of course, Pedro. Also, I would like to point out something really important that helped me personally a lot. That was to sharpen each other clinical skills. Like we were practicing how to do all the like physical examination, also how to interview the patients in the best way, always guided by the head doctor of the office, like the clinical office. And also we sharpen each other social skills, like interacting with the patients and with the also the medical staff at that office. Also, rotating with a friend help us a lot, creating a wider network of contacts in our area. We made a lot of contacts, like friends who were involved in internal medicine, or others in surgery, and it was like a wide variety of people that we got to know during our rotation. And like you mentioned, it helped us a lot to save money and housing, grocery shopping, transportation. Like the expenses were like we get to reduce our the cost of those areas because we were sharing most of the time, like what we bought at the grocery store or during transportation day, like you mentioned. Um, and I would say also that rotating with a friend will help you to embark or conduct different research projects of common interest that you may have with your friend that you're rotating with. And I think that all of that give us a lot of benefits and opportunities that rise when you are rotating with a friend that you already know, and doing a demo also will become more profitable, I would say, and beneficial for you and your career. What other experiences do you remember, Pedro, of our rotation that may help people who are listening to us right now?
Well, I agree with you, Jose, and also I recommend, for example, maybe if you have the opportunity to make this clinical rotation in US, this is going to be the best way that you're going to discover that if you are, for example, in case that this is especially for IMGs, if you are looking to make the clinical residency in US, or if you have some doubts about it, if you make a clinical rotation, you are going to be more prepared from this, and also you're going to figure out if really you want to make the clinical residency or surgery residency in US or not. And sometimes when you are in this process, you're going to have a lot of doubts, a lot of like, I'm going to do, I'm not going to do these doubts that doesn't help you. So when you have a friend, in our case, for example, we were like, both of us were like having a lot of doubts. First of all, we decided to make this clinical rotation, so this was one step. And then when we traveled there, and when we like to share our experience, like Josue mentioned, how about uh, the rotation and all of these things, we finally decided to make and say, I think the best way for us is to make the residency in US. And I think it was important because some days we were like, for example, in my case, it was difficult the first days there to communicate with the patients, to make the clinical examination, and also to try to ask for permission in because of all the things that our that native language is Spanish. So in that case, Jose helped me a lot, and I think this is very important to have this. Also, you are going to have more opportunities to know more cases because, for example, Jose could like seeing 20 patients or 15 patients in one day, and also I'm going to look for 15 patients every day. So in that moment, when we leave the clinic, in the way in the route to home, we used to talk about it. We used like, Jose, what cases, what interesting cases did you see today? what did you learn today? And we were like talking about, and it was really important. And also, it's important always to have a support in some cases, because you're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days, but especially when you all have these bad days, so maybe you are going to need some confidence, some friend that could help you. And sometimes for some people, it's difficult to make friends. So some of them need like 1 month, 2 months, I don't know, to make one friend. But if you have a friend and you travel with this friend, maybe it's going to be easier for you to be comfortable in the place that you are. And also it's going to be important uh, to have this opportunity to meet more people, because maybe Jose make some friends in the rotation, and also I make some friends, so your networking is going to be higher if you have the opportunity to share with someone else this opportunity. So I think it's going to be really important if you have the opportunity to travel together. And also you are going to have some discounts, or it's going to be less expensive if you travel with a friend, in order so that you could divide some things that will help you. And also finally, I think another important thing, I think it's important to say that uh, for the match, or for example for IMGs, to make all this process, to have a friend there, it's going to be easier. So what else, or what advice would you give Josue, those thinking about rotating with a friend?
Yeah, remember it back in at the beginning of 2020 when we did our rotation together. Uh, Definitely, it changed my view of medicine. It helped me a lot to get used to the U.S. Clinical medical system. Uh, I remember when we were filling out all the EMRs or electronic medical records electronically or like manually, and that all of that help us like to develop those technical skills, but at the same time uh, like have an emotional support between each other. And yeah, and I think that's really important when you are thinking about rotating with a friend that who are you already know, you already meet or met that person. And yeah, indeed, it was a very rewarding experience that I would surely recommend to anyone who's planning to do a rotation. And, and especially if you are planning, like Pedro mentioned, to pursue postgraduate studies here in US, like medical residency or research positions in US. It will help you a lot to get a letter of recommendations, also to gain a lot of clinical practice uh, by accredited hospitals or clinics here in US. It is and it will be, I think, a very rewarding experience for all of you to book a rotation with AMO here in the United States. And yeah, I think we have some pics from the rotation that we would like to share. That is the picture that that someone took for us with our preceptor in the clinic. It was a very busy day. I remember that we didn't have the time to even take a picture. And in those three also we are with the AMO team that visited us that day, and also with in another hospital or university, I think. What do you remember, Pedro, of those pictures?
Also, I think AMO at the final of the rotation, they came to the clinic and also told us, the advisors told us, what was how was your rotation, what do you think about it, would you recommend? And they gave us t-shirts that I have until now. So it was important. I think I feel comfortable with AMO, because all the process They used to talk with you, you talk with the advisor. So I think it's really important because you have the opportunity to go special place, and finally after you finish your rotation, you have the opportunity to give some recommendations. And I think we were literally a place in our place that we were. It was a clinic, and we used to see like 40 patients per day, and it was really really amazing because we used to practice a lot our English. We used to practice the clinical examination, how to prepare a clinical history, and the preceptor gave us the opportunity to do all the things. And also in the clinic we have like a friend, as you see in the picture. a, Annie she was like our best friend there. She was a physician assistant from Yale University, so she used to talk to teach a lot of things that we didn't know until that moment. She gave us the opportunity to visit the city, and also you are going to have this opportunity. Maybe the place that you're going in, you're going to make some friends that after that is going to be the best way that you're going to find new people, for example, to making friends, first of all. Then some friends that you make are going to be, if you, for example, in my case and Josue's case, both of us like research. So some of our friends that we make in that moment, there was from IMGs, not necessarily from Peru, but from India, from Ecuador, from Colombia. They gave us the opportunity to make research together. So I think it was important from us to visit this clinic, to make this clinical rotation, and also change it our minds because before that moment and after this moment, I think was really, really important the change that we make in our minds. We are decided and we are going to, in this way, to make the clinical residency there. We are going to take exams. And I think one of the things that helped a lot to decide was this clinical rotation, was the opportunity to make this clinical rotation together. Maybe to now, Jose wants to do surgery, and I'm going to apply for internal medicine. But in that moment, we both share a good clinical experience. We make a lot of friends. We have a good preceptor. We have the support from AMO that was attending all our process and gave all the facilities and before the inscription, also to get ready for this clinical rotation. And I think it was really, really important.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have, I can see here a question from Brinda. It says, I'm an international maker graduate from India and I was looking for some research experience. Could you suggest some opportunities offered in international for international graduates in the same? I would say it will depend on the program that you are already in. It could be a clinical rotation itself, or it could be a research facility that you are rotating. Um, of course, if you're, of course, you will be rotating with a specialist, and and you can like share your interest in a specific topic or in specific area, and of course you can embark in new projects or research projects you may develop or conduct in US or in your own country. What do you think, Pedro, about that?
I think could be like an example. In that moment that we make this clinical rotation, two of our friends, also from the prom, were also looking for opportunities to make clinical rotation. One of them come next month to the same clinic to us and also has this good experience, also wants to do medical residence there. He's going to apply for neurology. And another friend uh, made this like rotation of research opportunity in Miami. I don't remember the name of the clinic or the place, But she has this research opportunity, research rotation, and it was really, really, really amazing for her. After that rotation, she decided she was in contact with the preceptor, with all the team. And after that, she also, I'm not sure, but she had the opportunity to travel again to that place and also to work there. Some papers she published, like 5 or 6 articles from that place. So I think research opportunities that they offer are good, are going to be important for your application also if you are looking for this for the match. And there are good opportunities. Just look the place, look the page, and you're going to find a lot of opportunities. Try to select what is the best for you. Try to select if you're good rotating with a friend, for example. Try to select what is the best place for you, what is the best specialty that you found, and I think could be really, really important for it.
Yeah. Yes. If you are looking particularly for a research opportunity, I will recommend you to like look up on the page and find those options. That of course, if you are doing a clinical rotation, um also you can find many opportunities to do research uh, along the way. But if you're like interested in just doing research, I'm sure AIMA offers like research opportunities in the facility during a rotation itself.
Yes.
I had a question for you both. I was just wanting to know if you would you have been willing to do a rotation if you didn't do one together, or do you think that like doing one together was the only way you were going to be able to be comfortable doing a rotation?
Well, I would like to answer first. Of course, I think we are planning already to do rotations by ourselves. Like I mean, by myself. But at that moment, I think uh, the opportunities and also I would say the odds like aligned to do that rotation together because we got a contact of housing close to the rotation that we were looking for, and also we have that free time together, like off school, and I think those odds aligned to for us to book a rotation together. But of course, if you can do it for yourself, it will be as beneficial as doing with a friend. But what we are talking about is the benefits that we found after doing a rotation together, and of course, doing it for yourself, it will be beneficial as well if you find many other friends or people that are interested in the same specialty or the same interest of research as you.
Also, I would like to say that, for example, maybe we could have the opportunity to make a clinical rotation also alone. But I think in that moment, we sometimes you have a lot of doubts. It's like you are like, I'm going to do this rotation, but I need to get all these documents. I need these vaccines, a lot of things that are when you like to make this clinical rotation. And for example, when you have a friend, it's like in our case, Josue, did you get your document? Did you get your certification from English? Did you get that document? How is your process? Did you send all your documentation there? So you have someone else that is intercepting or is telling you that you need to complete this. And I think doing together it's easier. It's also in the way, for example, that you want to do this the process from the match or the process for the clinical residency from INGs. You need sometimes someone that have some experience, also that could do it this process more comfortable. So I think could do alone and also with a friend, but sometimes with a friend will help you to be more responsible from all the things that you need, and you are going to be like together going to find this opportunity to rotate.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for answering that for me. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to share? I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. So,
Yes. So if you have an interest, like common specialty of interest with a friend, it will help you a lot to do a rotation with him or with her. But if you have different like interests, like for example, now I'm more interested are in surgery, and Pedro, like he mentioned, in internal medicine itself, we probably were gonna do a different rotation, but like I think sharing what you are learning with a friend helped us. It helped you to like exchange those ideas and strengthen them, and the information is already in you, and you can like get that evidence in your scores or in your research projects in the future. So I think sharing and exchanging ideas with a friend of you, it will help you a lot during the process and make all these applications on all these residency pursue more easier and softer, smoother.
And finally, also, I would like to say that, for example, if you have a friend that is also interested in, like you, to make this rotation, like please try to talk with him or her and make the decision to do it together, because it's going to be more comfortable for both of us. Also, in the process to the application, the process inside the rotation, and also maybe like our case after the rotation in the other plans that you are going to have, you're going to have the friend that it's have some idea similar like you, and maybe some of your goals are going to be similar, so you're going to have some person, some friend that is going to help you a lot in this process, the previous process that you applicate for this rotation, in the rotation, in your travel, and also after that. Thank you.
awesome. Well, thank you both for your presentation. We really appreciate it. Since there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end the presentation.